Hello everyone, welcome back to Evergreen Olivia TV. And this episode, makikisakay tayo sa isang trending topic which is Diskarte o Diploma. In fact, if you know, there's no direct word that translates to English kung ano yung Diskarte. It's more of a description na being resourceful, tactics, strategizing, someone who hindi nga plans it's just really being resourceful, no, tactician. So that's one. And then diploma is basically in your face word na certificate. However, for me, hindi siya ganun ka-balance because slightly condescending yung tone ng question on someone who has diploma versus yung diskarte is parang technically diskarte is a very positive word right? So both words are positive pero pitted against each other. May possibility na when this question was asked, it was driven towards a certain direction. However, to be able to address these types of questions, mas maganda na you basically frame it again into the neutral ground. So if you've seen some of the celebrities get asked about these questions, some had very quick answers, but again, others kind of like they got creative on how they respond, no? And for me, parang easy answer to this is really just say both, but definitely one of the criteria when you're being asked with questions like this is probably, well, you just get to choose one, right? Okay, so let's break it down. Anyway, before we move forward, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so that you would know whenever I have new uploads. And thank you so much for being in this channel. Don't forget to also comment down below what's your take on this diskarte o diploma na pinag-uusapan. Okay, let's start. Okay. So, ayan, may konti lang tayong design. Yeah, this is a bit new format, no, for me. And this is a bit special because mas maganda may visualization on the things that I would like to mention. Alright? So, here we go. So, pinili nating diskarte, purely diskarte versus diploma. Ito yung part wherein hindi malinaw eh. Baka kasi purely diskarte siya, pero nagiging ka namang kriminal. Right? So, that's the downside of being biased so much to yung diskarte. However, truth be told, even in business naman, lahat naman tungkol sa diskarte, lahat din ng paano maging mabubuti is also requires being madiskarte, right? And, talking about this also is, it also reminds me that being madiskarte, part of it is also being creative. So we have to be creative in our ways, how to be good, or even how to get around things, right? So, but just to highlight, marami din kasi when we discuss this with the general audience or the general population, pag mga ganito kasi usapan, madalas parang papunta sa pag-shortcut. And shortcut means there's a possibility that the yung laws can be or might be overlooked, right? So yun lang yung mga warnings towards that. So, but discarded, there generally is a very positive word. However, of course, everything requires balance. So there's just a possibility na baka mapunta sa ibang klaseng diskarte yan. Okay? Right. So, but nobody's perfect. So just make sure that everything's within the boundaries of the law. Okay. Now, this is also a good way to put it, no, na lahat tayo may iba't ibang ways to enact our resourcefulness and our strategy. So when we remember when we watch yung mga animes na to, we have ninjas and samurais, right? Diba? Mga samurai is they stick with the swords, and at the same time, usually they're just out in the open, very much, I would use the word, yung parang yung chivalry, yung concept of that, no? Pero mataas sa kanila yung loyalty and some attitudes and virtues that is very different from what we get sa samurai, na kumbaga sa Tagalog, ito harap-harapan ang samurai, di ba? Pero ang ninja is laging patalikod, no? Patago, and then they will do their attack in a very sneaky way. So which one is right, which one is wrong? Both are just the same, pero yung approach and strategies are very, very different, right? Yeah, so, well, dito sa image na to, mukhang babae pa yung na-generate ng DALL-E, right? Okay. Next is, when we look at the celebrities, no, when we speak of actors and actresses, if napansin nyo, well, I didn't have any samples of Korean actors because I'm not very familiar with who are the artists or actors there, no, because I seldom watch K-dramas. However, most of the foreign actors and actresses, they actually came from drama schools. Kung napansin niyo na bakit parang kakaiba sila, parang bakit mas maganda yung acting nila, bakit mas parang natural, or so it's not just the actors, even the production crew, diba? Most of them took many years ng related studies to that craft, and perhaps a small portion of those people na self-taught ang maaring nandun sa ganong klaseng team, pero most of the time talagang inaral. And if kaya dito din yung example ko na si Kate Blanchett, no, is for example, in her case, she went from a drama school, and then I forgot to download the video, to have that image. I remember there's another celebrity who made a mistake. I think this is I don't know which one from the Baldwin brothers, that yung meron silang kinuha na yung sa may nabaril, no, dun sa production nila, and someone was fatally shot. I think it's one of the parang directors or looking at the camera, tinamaan, and as per what I saw from the videos, no, that were shared, the person that was taking charge with the armory is parang referred lang ng kamag-anak, no, and parang kulang pa sa credentials yung person, and usually yung palang ganon is merong proper training, no, for that kind of and as per investigation, parang tinuturuan pa siya sa text. So, and they lost a life, right? So even if in movies they look simple, but they deal a lot with a lot of materials and setups that require education. That's why they have better quality ng movies, no? So, of course, not all actors naman talaga nanggaling sa acting schools, no? But majority of them, and then they learn, they get mentored with these professional actors, and some of them eventually, when they get into movies, yung mga hindi nag-aral, they end up taking classes din, no, to enhance, kasi kumbaga nagiging requirement even they're taught yung mga sa either some martial arts, weaponry, some stunts, no, they get schooled, kumbaga, and that's why the quality of the filmmaking that they have is very different. So, yan, example si Kate Blanchett. And then, yan, our favorite, no, ang pambansang kamao, Manny, Kuya Manny, Kuya Manny Pacquiao. So, senator pa ba siya? Okay, well, I have to check that. Okay, anyway, so even if he went through boxing, he got rich with boxing, pero definitely one of the things that he really tried to accomplish even after his success is that he still finished a degree, no, in a local school. And then, of course, we also have our mayor ng Pasig, which is Mayor Vico Soto, no? And he he's not just popular because he's the son of famous actors and actresses in the Philippines. He is also currently being admired because of his effectivity in his job. And in my opinion, I mean, of course, I have no way of knowing exactly all the details, but he is very um, eloquent and I would say professional in the way that he's handling yung magiging mayor niya. And I'm not sure if everyone knows, but he actually took up political science. Next is, this is also a very good way of showcasing a diploma or Diskarte. So for the Filipinos out there, but I mean for the Filipinos out there, I'm sure that I would say 80% of us knows the story behind the two heroes. No, one is the national hero of the Philippines, and the other one is one of our, kumbaga siya yung second most celebrated hero of the Philippines. And usually there's a debate, parang sino ba dapat ang mas kinikilala na maging pambansang bayani. Now, for those who are not aware, so we have in our screens here, so we've got uh, Andres Bonifacio and Jose Rizal. So Jose Rizal is the national hero of the Philippines, and then we've got Andres Bonifacio, which is a celebrated hero in the Philippines. However, there's always a debate and a different fan base, no, of the two. But to give you an idea, Jose Rizal is a well-educated person, meaning to say, when I say well-educated, is he had a lot of degrees and he can speak many languages and dialects. In fact, he also went to abroad, and that's why we even call him Dr. Jose Rizal, because he actually is a doctor. Now, for Andres Bonifacio, he is the perfect example of full wit, bravery, and willpower. However, outside the idea of education and being self-taught, I think naging drawback din lang is that when you don't have the experience to be in a school or didn't graduate, you kind of have also less network. And then, of course, I'd like to highlight also some of the famous tech startup founders, business people, entrepreneurs, those on the top of the scale. Mark Zuckerberg may not have finished school, but he actually did and worked with his peers, and he employed engineers and graduates, no, to work in his company. So just clarifying that, because usually this is used as a point that Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, and some other famous people that didn't finish school became successful. The point there is they became successful, but they actually were already in those prestigious universities, and then they took the chance to work with the ones um, that already have degrees, no? Um, and I believe may nakita akong video about Bill Gates that there's this Indian woman who made a research, and she said that what Bill Gates did is basically he bought a software from professors, no, in a particular university. So yun yung mga diskarte and diploma, but it's not really disregarding education, because the I think what I want to point here, no, it's not about the people per se as parang case to case basis, no, pero in a bigger scale, if you look at it, no, we cannot be one sided. So there's no one answer to this. Usually it's a combination of both. It's just a more of a saka mas may tendency, where are you leaning towards to, because even in an office, no, if you observe in an office, di ba, meron ka no management, may secretary, may administrative, and usually this type of work and profession uh, is a combination of both Diskarte and Diploma. So, and then even, and then also, to add to that, we've got the blue collar jobs, right? So we've got the cleaners and the housekeeping. There's no one answer to this, eh. No, and the question is, I would say, misleading siya, no? So whoever would be kind of like saying, eh, diskarte kasi hindi mo naman makakain ng diploma. Okay, I won't argue with that, diba? Pero ito kasi yung downside. Let me share the next slide. So, one of the things that we can observe, no, is that a decline in education is also a decline in the economy and even in the politics, because when we have less ability to understand the economy and appreciate education, we will be subjected to more corruption. And I know that some people would say, di nga eh, yung mga nag-aral nga yung mga namumuno at nagiging corrupt. But there will be no corruption if wala din nag-shortcut na pumapayag sa ilalim. No, ako hindi naman siya totally na parang wala. No, I think that's that's too idealistic. What I'm saying is, just like in Japan, what they did was, because I think with their very high literacy rate, and then may approach sila, there's kind of like a more transparent way of dealing with corruption. So, baga may incentivization sila. And, they were able to put a mechanism to it. Now, for us, no, for us here in the Philippines, ang nangyari is more and more people doesn't want to finish school. So, ang nangyari ngayon, it's more of, if you look at it, the diploma, the concept of diploma is not really about the paper itself, the tangible paper itself. It's more of yung concept of makakatapos ba tayo o hindi. It's a training ground towards a certain destination. Although education in diploma doesn't really give you a guarantee to be successful, pero usually mas may sense yung diskarte mo when you are a finisher or you may diploma. Okay? So, ayan. So, ito yung example. Ito yung na-generate image. And to add to that, no, so why do we also need diploma? Because majority of the most crucial part ng pagpapatakbo ng economy are actually, it requires graduates. or people who have background studies with these industries, no? So we're referring to engineering, mathematics, no? Uh, even, and let's not get into the debate about programmers and software engineers. Doon pa lang, no, kaya may iba yung software engineer kasi may engineering background eh. So they have a different foundation. And then if you wanna do code, then you're a programmer developer. Right? So, pero if you look at it, no, may mga structures and hierarchies that pilit eh, kakailanganin mo to work with people who have those education, to have a very, very strong foundation of a company or in a bigger picture, yung economy. Okay? So, if you look at this, just another example, sa barko. So, kung ayaw mo matapos mag-aral, so sino magmamando ng barko? Sino magiging kapitan? Sino magiging engineers? Sino magpapadala ng mga orders natin? No? To navigate the sea is not just simple. It takes a lot of math. At kahit may computer, hindi naman laging accurate ang computer eh. If you don't understand, you have no way of checking if what's appearing in the computer is correct. But at the same time, you need cook. You need cabin crew. You need oilers. No? So, bosun. Magkakaibang education background, magkakaibang personality. And even in the maritime, being a captain, di ka pwedeng puro theoretical. Sa totoo lang, after mo ng diploma, puro diskarte yan eh. Kasi a lot of negotiations, a lot of looking at the conditions of the sea, what you're gonna do, then you manage the people, di ba? So, hindi fair yung question, hindi malinaw. I would say it's emotionally misleading. No? And here's also a way of showing, to run a city, di ba? Oh, okay, you've got people working in the government, but at the same time, for the more sensitive matters, you need scientists. Diba? Gusto mo ba, nagpapalipad ng eroplano, eh, hindi nag-aral ng pagiging piloto. Walang enough hours to learn how to fly. In fact, yun yung mga naging problem recently with hiring. This is in the international landscape, no? So, sa states, I believe parang may mga enforcement of diversity, and sometimes hindi na based on skills and merits yung recruitment. So, nangyari ngayon, yung mga sensitive jobs, parang sinushoot ka na lang doon, not because that you're qualified, but just for show. Unfortunately, the risk, the safety of the passengers, the safety of the plane and everything is put at risk. So, hindi yan simple. So, what I'm trying to say here is that I don't advocate for just being one-sided in promoting purely Diskarte versus Diploma. Because it's like sabotaging the economy. Meaning to say, parang do you just wanna run a ship filled with pirates? Diba? It's very different. Now you run a ship with crew with educated ones and those who are just purely out of wit and bravery. Diba? Hindi siya sustainable eh. So, and if you look at it, the Philippines has been declining in terms of education. And I don't know if our viewers are aware, there are certain jobs that we cannot fill in. It's not about doctors or nurses. We actually lack mathematicians. We lack accountants. There's a global lack of accountants. No, I've seen those articles recently that even in the US, they need more accountants. Kaya nga maraming outsourcing eh. Kaya nga madaming BPO. Tapos tayo, ayaw pa nating aralin. And that's why India is very successful. That's why Singapore is very successful. Because education is always encouraged, promoted, and even supported by the government. No, so, ayun. That's my take for this topic. For me, diploma is not the ultimate answer to success, But I highly suggest that you will learn Diskarte better when you get your diploma first. That's my take for this. So feel free to share your thoughts about this and comment down below. And I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Ginamit ako talaga ng slides and I used a little bit of DAL-E and then made some few prompts. Anyways, thanks so much. See you next episode.